This is Lou's Golf and Fish Club.
That was literally perfect.
We're back. That was perfect. We're back with part 2. We just talked about Jimbo's first Lou's tournament, and just I mean, dude, you came out to a lot of stuff this year. That's why you were a member of the year, because you came out to pretty much every tournament. You came out to some extra stuff with us, like we can talk about the catfishing, and you came out to the smallmouth tournament, and all that kind of stuff. Like I remember you came out with us for the catfishing, the chugging and jugging, or whatever.
Getting outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude. That's like,
dude, that was fun.
That's what Lou's is about right there. Just like
hanging out.
You had us, Wink, all the it was awesome.
I literally got on the boat and didn't have to do anything and caught fish.
Yeah, and hung out.
Yeah,
played music, drinking.
Were you on Justin's boat at first or mine?
I forgot whose boat I started on. And
I think it was you, Wink, and
so we pretty much like
Jimbo on your boat.
Tied up together.
Well, before that, we were two separate boats.
I think I started on your boat.
We started on his boat.
And Wink was like, bro, why don't we just like hook up? I thought we were like here to hang out and like have a good night. And I was like, I mean, I guess, sure. So I was like, Justin, get over here. So we went up like forward and backwards. I was like, this is awkward. Because I'm like trying to steer his boat around backwards. And he's like, which way are we going? Which way? I was like, all right, dude, break off, spin around. Like, let's both face the exact same way. We both face the exact same way, and then I think we put like a throw cushion in between us, so we didn't like scratch each other.
Bang the boats together.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much where it all started.
It was a great setup.
Yeah.
Two
that
boats.
was a lot of fun.
Nose together.
We probably had like 20 jugs.
Yeah, we were
20
just
30, something like that. It was everywhere.
We were just tossing them everywhere.
We're like, look at that.
I remember the one time
Mm-hmm.
when Jimbo netted that one catfish, and he was like on Aaron's boat.
And jump.
And and he goes back, gets the net, and then comes back up to the front. He's like, "I'm coming!" And like into our boat.
I think we had caught 2 fish at one time, right?
Yeah.
It was two back to back.
Back to back.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's
Definitely,
fun. Yeah. It's definitely fun. Like I said, when people wouldn't go on charters, they just want to go and fish, or not
Catch
say
fish.
fish. They just want to go enjoy catching fish and not have to deal with anything else. And that was like the perfect setup. We did that 2 nights.
Sure.
Those 2 nights for sure.
We definitely need to do that some more.
I think the best one was the one that I didn't think it was that big. And Wink was like, how do you know how big it is? I was like, dude, it doesn't feel that big. And I was like, zzz.
When he starts pulling,
the freaking bottle went from the right side all the way in between both of our boats. And we're like, oh, crap, like, where's it at? Where's it at? And, like, picked it up. And I think everybody touched the bottle at least once.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, jug fishing is definitely fun. I mean, for people that don't know, it's basically just taking a milk jug or a big Gatorade bottle, and tying a heavy line to it, braid or heavy, whatever.
80 pound.
Yeah, and it's getting some length on it and putting some either cut bait or live bait on it, and just we put glow sticks.
Yeah, drop a glow stick down in there.
Or I use like reflective tape on some of mine.
Yeah.
People use noodles and all kinds of stuff, and the noodles will pop up and stand straight up.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a really good, fun way to just go out and catch fish, hang out with your boys, or like for kids too.
Yeah.
Dude, you
can set them at different depths. You know what I mean?
Depths, yeah.
15-foot jug, your 10-foot jug, your 6-foot jug.
Yeah, especially in like the middle of summer when we were doing it. It's like where fishing's not that good, and it's like it's too hot. It's like 100 degrees during the day. Like, oh, let's go out there at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And go lay some jugs out there and hang out, and like nice summer night. Like, yeah.
I got the spotlights on the boat so you can see for miles.
You have the craziest lights. So. Like, bing! It's like a Jeep coming through the water.
Yeah. It's actually what somebody told me. I was coming back to the boat ramp at Bull Run, and they're like, I thought there was like a Jeep in 4-wheel drive coming down the Aquan. I was like,
down the middle of the water.
Just like straight ahead. They're like, dude. It's like,
it really does look like that.
He said as soon as you came across the splits, I could see lights come from somewhere. He's like, where is that coming from? And here you come hauling ass around the corner, like, hey. Pretty sick.
So you came out to that for the jugging, and then you came out to the smallmouth tournament as well.
Shenandoah.
You caught your first smallmouth this year, right? Was your first smallmouth this year? I remember you sent a picture of one you caught on your own bait up like somewhere. But
that was
like
the first
creek or something.
That's the first smallmouth I caught on my own
bait.
My own big
creation.
Bait. On the
rat, right?
On the rat bait, the Kimbo rat.
Okay.
That was definitely the first one, but
you had caught him before this year.
Yeah, I've caught plenty of smallmouth down on Shenandoah, and I have a little secret spot up in Leesburg that I like to fish for smallmouth.
Where's that?
Where's it at?
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
What's the coordinates?
Where is that?
Do what now?
GPS? Longitude, latitude?
There's a good spot.
Well, I guess Sean was the one that, like, last year he came to the small tournament. And that was his first smallmouth he had ever caught. Was on our tournament.
Yes.
So yes.
I think you might have been speaking to Sean. Sean was definitely the first smallmouth, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got him out, yeah.
Yeah. No, my introduction to smallmouth fishing was again back in the day was through the kayak bass fishing, getting online, being in Dulles area or Northern Virginia. There's such a vast community of anything you want to do as far as like your hobbies. So you could just Google it, and there's going to be a group of people doing that hobby.
That's true.
And again, I went and Googled like kayak bass fishing. That was there. And then another one that had came up was Potomac River Smallmouth Club.
Yes, I've seen them.
And they had a club that met up, I figure it was like the first Tuesday or last Tuesday or Thursday of the month. And I remember going back to that club back in the day. And I just remember I was the youngest member, and I wasn't even really a member, but the youngest person going in there, and it was a bunch of like older folks who would just crush smallmouth fishing all around Northern Virginia, and it's kind of crazy, but they kind of had their spots, and that's where I kind of learned, the smallmouth, and at that time, I think it was like maybe the third or fourth time I had went to the club or whatever, Jeff Little was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
He, at that time, he was kind of getting big into making his own baits and his lures and stuff like that. And I've learned a lot, with Jeff Little and, the smallmouth aspect of fishing. So,
that's awesome.
And again, he was another big pioneer of kayak fishing, too,
Definitely.
at that time. So, there's a lot of knowledge between those guys on that side.
He's definitely a legend.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Smallmouth, river fishing, kayak,
In this area, absolutely.
100%. Definitely a beast. I mean, you talk about making your own baits. I know you, I remember the rat bait that you made. You came out with me to Mike Ryan's at Lake Manassas and hooked up to that giant.
Did some prototype testing there, and sure enough, I think the first one we caught was like 3.5 pounds or something like that, and then probably about another hour later, we had another one hook up, and I set the hook and was fighting it for a moment, and all of a sudden it just let go. It just let go, and I really thought the fish came off. Or I just thought the fish had spit it.
Yeah, we're like, oh, what happened?
Sure enough, those type of happens, like the fish will jump a second time, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously the hook has stuck in its mouth.
Yeah.
And when I actually looked at the lure, I realized my swivel had came out of the bait.
Yeah.
And again, this is probably a couple months of making this rat lure, so it's this trial and error of trying to get everything situated for these type of lures.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Though. Like I think the one you caught was actually, it was like almost 4 pounds. I think it was like a really good fish.
Yeah, it was definitely
solid for sure.
It was definitely solid.
And then that one, dude, I remember I was sitting there, I'm like, dude, that was a really big fish.
And
the way it came up,
the crazy part about it just like let go. Like I just remember having the pressure on the rod, and then all of a sudden it just let go. I'm like, why does this feel so weird? And I remember picking the lure up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it like the whole swivel came, the swivel, the split ring, and the hook was completely out of the lure. And I was like, okay, well that makes plenty of sense.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen a top water lure get hit like that. Yeah. That one did. Like that rat, it was just like,
and it was overcast.
It was overcast, and he kept just like pulling it, let it sit, and pulling it. I'm like, dude, I think it's gonna get crushed at some point.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that thing was like,
I was like, oh, did it like roll on it or did it blow up?
That was one of the.
And that just goes back to the snakehead, like the top water, bite. It's just so explosive, man. And the visual aspect of hearing it and stuff like that. It's it's so addictive. It's just so unbelievable fun.
Yeah, that's sick. I would love to make some of my own baits, but those rat baits are definitely sweet.
Yeah.
They're coming along. They're
Dude,
definitely coming along for sure.
That made me a believer on the rat bait that day. I'm like, that thing is sick. Just like the little creep, like pull it, and it's like.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's not. It doesn't want to be there.
No.
It's like a bass. Is
Like,
just
oh
like,
no, I'm not in the water.
I'm surprised, like this bass wants to eat this like a rat, but then again, it's just easy opportunity for them. Yeah.
It makes sense though, like with those all the fields around there and
Yes.
stuff. Like there's probably
Field rat,
mice and
field
rats that
mice,
swim
yes.
across and like get stuck out there or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
That was a big fish.
how big do you think it was?
Huh?
You think it was like 6 or 7?
I mean, it was definitely like at least 6, 7 plus for sure.
Okay.
6 plus.
I'll take that.
6 plus for sure.
I'll take that.
New PV.
For sure. I mean, there's bigger ones than that in there for sure. Like
Sure.
massive.
But it was a big
It was
one.
Yeah.
spring, like it was like April.
Dude, that's the
Yeah.
time to get some.
Right around like
it
a
was
lay down.
April, yeah. Like we were going right
It
into
might have
the
been 9.
Could've been double
I've never
digit.
seen a fish roll on a bait like that before, ever.
Any new prototypes for 2026?
The crawlers. The crawlers are. I'm trying to dial in the crawlers this year. The big issue I'm having with the crawlers is just sourcing quality wings for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones I could find are just cheaper aluminums, and they just tend to fall apart faster than what I need. But the crawlers, I'm trying to come up, get those dialed in for this year. And then the rat lures, I got a bunch of good wood stock as far as like walnut and maple
Nice.
for the rat lures for this
Yeah.
year. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the garage. And
Yeah.
get
You
those
used to
covered.
tie you used to tie jigs and stuff too, didn't you? Back in the-
I pour
Some-
jigs. Obviously, when you pour jigs, you need to tie the skirts and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it goes back to the Jeff Little stuff because watching him, I remember he was just making these specific. Matter of fact, they're called little tubes, and I remember at the time. For smallmouth tubes are just a really
Staple.
good staple for fishing, and
Yeah.
his issue at that time was finding small tubes. The smallest tube that he could find were probably like 3 inches at the time, so that's why he had created his own tubes, and they called them little tubes.
Yeah.
After
I know
his
that.
name in the tube,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
and they were just like 1.25 inch,
Oh wow.
fun size Snickers
Fun
for,
size.
for
Yeah.
smallmouth bass, right? So he had made those, and it was Confidence Base. That was his company at the time. And again, with those, he was making certain type of like keel weighted lures, to drag on the ground and stuff like that. And then these smaller football jigs and stuff like that. It's just always fascinating. Again, working with cars and working with my hands, I've always liked tinkering with stuff.
Yeah.
So over the years, fishing, with Sean and stuff like that, breaking off a lot of, jigs that you spend $5, $3, whatever. You're losing lures left and right. So at some point, I'm like, okay, how can I make this more efficient for me? Well, start pouring my own jigs, and that's where I kind of got into the lure making.
Yeah.
It's just making my own lures to make it, more affordable for me.
Yeah.
So I just, basic start off with like, football jigs and then like swim jigs and stuff like that. And that's what kind of got me into making my own like bigger swim baits. But, understanding that, hey, I can make these smaller ones and let me just upgrade to the bigger ones. So and that's just been, probably 3 or 4 years now of just making lures. That's just been another hobby of mine that
I
just
feel like
love.
the jigs is just like people always need more. Like you lose them and you get them.
Yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
a
And
never
again, that's where it's,
ending thing. Like
that's where I
they
started
like your
because I
jig, they're
kept
gonna
on
come back for
breaking
more.
off. Exactly, that's where I started. I kept on breaking off jigs, and at that time, like jig fishing got interesting with me was like setting the hook, like watching like these professional anglers setting the hook, like when you would catch a fish when you first started, like it would just bend your tip, so you knew something was on there.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, you started reeling it, but I really wanted to set the hook.
That
Like
jig
seeing
thump
that
is
good
thing,
feeling, yeah.
reeling
Like
up
crack.
your line and just cracking that rod, and that's what kind of got me into the jigs and stuff like that, because that's what's kind of like that's what you would do,
Yeah.
and again, you know, pouring the jig, and that's what really forced me into like fishing jigs, swim jigs, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's what I've been trying to do more often, like more in the past couple of years, is fishing jigs,
Yes.
getting back to like, you know, picking back up the swim baits and stuff like that, because I started off, you know, picking up swim bait probably like in 2019 or something like that. And then I kind of put it away because I didn't really have that of greatest success with it when I first started. And then just because I just didn't fish it long enough. I didn't
Stick with it. Yeah.
I didn't stick with it. I didn't understand it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
just getting back into, you know, there's certain techniques has just been really fascinating. for
Yeah,
me.
dude. I mean, that was my 2025 fishing resolution was
Fishing
throwing
jigs.
jig,
Yeah,
and that's what I did. And it was definitely the best fishing year I've ever had in my
sure.
life.
They're
Like
un-
anytime I got in a bind, I'm like,
They
let me
are
just throw this
underrated.
football jig off this point or
They're
on this
definitely
rock
underrated.
wall, or anytime I see rocks, and I'm like, give me that football jig. Ooh, or chatterbait too. Jackhammer. Jackhammer is if you're fishing tournaments without live scope, and from
That's another underrated one that
April to October, you
people
don't have a
slack
jackhammer
on.
on your boat, dude, or some kind of chatterbait like that.
And the startup speed is really key too.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between the $5 chatterbait and the
Jackhammer.
jackhammer.
100%.
I think I'm
Completely different.
I think I'm the one that got Wink hooked on jackhammers. He's
You got
like,
me hooked on it too.
He's like, dude, I've been throwing these EXO and like just
Yeah.
the regular like chatterbaits. I'm like, bro, I understand.
Yes.
But just go to Cabela's and get the most expensive chatterbait they have, which is probably like $15 to $18 per chatterbait. He's
Yeah.
like, what, for one bait? I was like, I don't know, man. You and I can sit here and you can throw a regular chatterbait and I'll throw a jackhammer, and I guarantee you I'll catch five fish more than you'll catch.
And it's and really, you know, understanding that really kind of sets amateur to professional, you know, AAA to professional anglers, man.
Yeah.
Just those little small, minute things, and you'd be surprised how changing your reel speed to 7.3 to 7 with a chatterbait or a different
Slower,
type of
6.
lure.
Mine's a 6.
Show
660,
slower
yeah.
presentation between certain lure
Da, da,
really
da, da, da.
changes the
Dude.
action of that lure.
Yeah.
That 6 something one, I'm like barely
6 to 1 probably.
and it's like
Yeah.
da, 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 and just
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It'll
Love it.
keep you in the strike range fast, or start up in that fast.
I mean, I noticed
right where
you-
it needs to be faster.
I noticed a huge difference in the jackhammer just reeling, because you
Yes.
can feel your rod tip, and I use the 7.3 heavy, and it's just like doof, 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 doof,
Yeah.
doof, doof, and you're like,
From the
Jesus
start, like
Christ.
As
first
soon as
real
you click
first
the handle,
first
Yeah.
it's like,
But like with the regular chatterbait,
you
it's
gotta
just
like
like
get it going.
Get it,
Yeah,
you
very
start- you
subtle.
Really
That's-
start to gotta pull it.
yeah, it's you talked
On
me
the
into it
cheaper
too.
ones.
I was
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
same boat as Wing. I was like, I've fished chatterbaits, like I've never caught anything. I was
I think I got Wayne
and
into
you're,
it as
and
well.
you're like, dude, yeah. Like, well, Wayne got into it because he fished with me at the Lake Ridge Res tournament,
yeah.
and I gave him one of mine. I'm like, you're gonna throw this for the first 2 hours. We're both gonna throw this for the first 2 hours around the grass. And I think like, you know, within the first 5 casts, he caught like a 3-pounder.
Yeah.
And he's feeling the difference. He's like, dude, this is insane. Like,
Yeah.
just throw it out there and see you start reeling. Da, 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 da.
To be
Yeah,
honest
so-
with you, the chatterbait was probably like my first confidence bait that I picked up back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like I just remember getting the basic white and chartreuse $5 chatterbait from Walmart and stuff like that. And again, this is completely different from fishing like Cinco's,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's every-
basic crankbaits
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I just remember picking up this chatterbait. I'm like, this is completely different. But feeling that thump on my rod was, you know,
Yeah.
very, very fascinating. And especially at that time, I had started to investing into like Dobins rods and like the Mojo Bass series rods, like that entry level $100 range where you could really start feeling
Yeah.
how your lure is, and
Yeah.
it just, man, it was very fascinating how it opened up my mind to that.
Dude, I was throwing my jackhammer setup was the Tula 6 something, whatever, 6 2 to 1 with a Bass Pro graphite
3 to 1.
series 7-foot medium, like a $35 rod. I've been using that for years.
Yeah.
And then I just got the Fury 7.3, whatever, 703,
733.
733. And I threw it like a couple weeks ago for the first time, and dude, the difference in like a $35 rod and like Dobins, like
Of course.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to fucking catch a fish on that
Yeah.
setup this year. Oh my
And
goodness.
Like I was telling you, man, that 733. You haven't thrown your football jig on it, but go ahead and throw on that football jig on it. That's a great rod
Yeah.
to do it. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Basic 12-pound fluorocarbon.
Oh yeah. Those Dobins, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm a
Dobbin
Dobins
rods
believer
are great.
for sure.
The lifetime warranty.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat it, man. Like,
Yeah.
anytime I'm looking at rods, I'm like, just the Dobins, the setup is just like $50. If you break it, $50, or you can upgrade
Well,
for the price
back-
difference.
like I
5
said-
years, 10 years on the road, you break it, you send it in. Oh, I want to get a champion now. I'll spend $150.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
Shout
When
out
I-
Dobins.
when I
yeah.
first started like getting back into it, like in 2004, again, the years I'm
Your age is
trying
getting to you. It's all right.
Yes,
You're
it's getting to
old.
me.
It's all right.
Like 2003, 2004,
Like, damn.
2005. I remember like stepping up
That
and
was
trying
this
to
guy.
buy like the $100 and $125 rods
And
like,
reels, yeah. I mean,
that was like the entry. It wasn't the entry level, but it was like that's when you're starting to get really good components for rods,
Yes.
right? And that was like the Dobins Fury series. There was like the Mojo Bass series, Temple Fork Outfitters,
Yeah, TFOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the TFOs.
Yeah.
I think G Loomis had just kind of like broke up from them, and he had like collaborated with them, and they had their series of
Oh, wow.
rods, and again they were $100, and that $100 price range was like great. And again, I remember the Fury series was awesome. I invested, I had probably 3 or 4 rods at that time, but when I had broke them and stuff like that, I was able to send them in and upgrade to the Champion series for half the price or whatever, for whatever the price of the Champion series was.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I'm at the Champion series because I started off with the Furies and just upgraded over the years, over the past 10 years. And you can't beat that.
yeah,
like,
let me tell everyone that. Like, is that
you
what
can't
you
beat
told
the
me?
upgrade stuff.
Yes.
And I know, with Dobins, GSM, they got bought out with GSM about a year ago. I haven't had to deal with a warranty in the past 2 years with my Champion Series rods, but I hope, and I hear that everything is still on par with everything, which hopefully it is, but that's just how businesses grow and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I definitely, I tell everyone that. Talking about rods, what should I get? I'm like, just go with Dobins Fury, $100 and something rod, 150, 130.
I mean, in 2026 nowadays, $125 is going to get you a really good rod nowadays.
That's the sweet spot to me, is like between 100 and 200 for rod and reel.
Yeah.
Rod 100, between 100 and 200, and a reel between 100 and 200.
Yeah.
It's like the sweet spot where it's going to last.
And then you could take
quality,
advantage. You could take advantage of the holiday deals.
Yeah.
They're always going to have 15% off and stuff like that. Digitaka, the JDM stuff, it kind of went to shit now. But you could definitely get some great deals. And
my football jig setup now is a 7.2 heavy Shimano Claris, which is like a $90 rod. And the reel is a Lose Speed Spool, which is like a $100 reel, but I got it on like some kind of tackle warehouse discount for like $60.
Yep.
$65. Dude, that thing is sick. It's
Definitely
like a
take advantage of
workhorse reel. I've never
discounts
had
and
any issues
stuff
with
like
it.
that.
It's like one of my favorite reels I have.
Yeah.
It's
What's
like,
your favorite rod and reel setup? Besides the one that you lost.
ooh,
Oh, man.
Ouch.
that one. That was my favorite.
Like,
Moment of silence.
Damn.
Everybody caps off.
Man, that was my favorite.
Since we're talking about rods and reels,
That
might as
was
well.
my favorite
What
rod and reel.
was that setup?
dang, dude.
What was
So
it?
that's
I know it's a G Loomis.
it's a G Loomis, and it's a GCX, so it's not even like the high end one. It was the 740. God dang, it's a 7-foot medium heavy. It's pretty much their all around like most universal rod, and I forgot the numbers, but I think it's 740, 744 from G Loomis.
Loomis?
Gosh,
What was the reel? Was it?
and it was a Metanium, low profile.
Dude,
There we go.
that's the one that hurts. There's the one. That's the dagger.
The Metanium, like that's what we
Like,
want to do.
Yeah, so I
Just
mean,
a $500 reel. Not
Yeah,
nothing too much.
that's good.
yeah,
What was the total on that setup?
$7.
no, it was $250 for the rod, and then again when I had purchased this is
Real.
when this is when like Digitaka and like the JDM
Yeah.
craze was really good. So I mean, man, I was getting like Metanium reels for like $200,
What?
like $225.
Damn.
Woo!
Dude.
Like the regular Metaniums, I think at most I was paying $250 for them.
Jeez.
So like a
But-
$400 or $500 setup, which is, I mean,
Like 5.
Correct.
About
Yeah.
500,
I mean,
Yeah.
Still pretty.
it's a pretty. I mean, I have some that are close to that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was my favorite rod reel.
Literally
And
my favorite.
I have another Metanium and the heavier power. So the G Loomis it's actually the MBR rod. Let's get this correct. It's not just a GCX, but it's a GCX MBR rod.
Okay.
And the MBR rod is just like the most universal. Like it's like I swear it's like a 2 taper rod, as far as like it has like a fast tip, but it also has like a slower backbone where you could just do multiple techniques in one.
That's why I want to get that Sierra 7-foot medium heavy Sierra.
Exactly,
Because
so-
it's like I can use my DC.
Exactly.
For
So
everything.
that would be Dobins.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say like that's
Yeah.
very comparable to their dual taper rods, and that's hard to find
Yeah.
a 2 taper. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but a 2 taper rod in itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it has a good backbone, but also has some
has a softer-
some soft. Yeah,
It
it keeps
has
the
a
hook
softer
pin.
tip to what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah. But
sure.
currently, since I got rid of that one, my new favorite setup is a Dobins Champion Extreme 746.
Good night.
And that's more of like a jig
Yeah.
frog. It's a heavy setup rod, but I find that Gary has figured out his rods to, again, with multiple like tapers, like it pins fish whenever
Yeah.
you need it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially coming from kayak bass fishing.
Yeah.
When you've caught a fish and you've have it and you need to get your net, you need to have that pinning,
Yeah, some give. You
the
need some
give
flex.
with the taper of the rod where it's not too fast and not too slow, where it's gonna have that fish be able to spit it. And it's so odd to say because it's 746, and when you hear Dobins, a 6 is a 6 power. That's pretty heavy. And I think it's almost a mag heavy.
Yeah.
But it's still
But
soft
Dobins
enough.
is always softer than.
It's
yeah.
always softer than what they're actually rated.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
really pinned all the heavy fish that I've had this year, even the softer ones. But
Yeah.
it's a 746, and then it's actually a cheaper Corrado, the newer.
Yeah.
I think it's like the greener Corrados. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. We've been drinking a little bit, but
Don't
The
MGL.
MGL.
Yeah,
MGL.
yeah.
I have MGL real.
and the MGL Corrados, man, those are bad reels.
So
those
for-
are bad for reels
So
for what they are.
for all of our viewers, where can this rod?
Hold on, we got a couple minutes. We got like we're at 28, so we'll do
28.
part 3.
We're just gonna answer this last question.
What was
What
the
is
question?
For all of our viewers, where can this last rod and reel be found?
As meaning
Oh,
where?
under the Quiet Creek Bridge,
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
somewhere under there. It's gone.
It's in a quiet
We'll
creek.
We'll do part. We gotta do part 3. We gotta do
Quiet Creek.
part 3.
It's probably up in
part
the
3
weeds
coming
somewhere.
up.